This afternoon Form 5 seminar supposed to be conducted in Mandarin, but I insist to teach is English. Okay? Yeah, but just now I saw someone left the class. Maybe is the random 学生，对对是 random 学生，所以那个 random 学生只选区上，it's okay，上其他老师了，所以我只是要重点 focus 在你们的身上啊，所以不明白的就问啊。I got anything for the Form 4 Part 3 Part 4? Just ask me questions from the main chat. Please don't use the mic because I already disabled the noise. Okay, so that the hacker, even though came in, they are not able to put on the mic and then disturbing the whole class. Okay. So your page number 23, this is your Form 4 Part 3. So highlight. Form 4 Part 3 is trying to learn the bank. And then your Form 4 Part 3 for the second part is trying to learn the pendapatan, including the belanjawan. So right now, page number 23, this is your Form 4 Part 3. So this is your Part 3A. Why is it Part 3A? Because we haven't learned the PBG yet. Okay, so pendapatan is for us to buy things. So when we are using the money to buy things, so we have to learn the fungsi. So fungsi for one, we have 4, which means it's all start from ala. So when we are using the money to buy things, is ala perantaran pertukaran. The Form 4 Part 3 for the first part in your last year syllabus. So perantaran pertukaran, which means it's a medium for us to exchange. So which means exchange what? Using our money to exchange for the barang in perkhidmatan. So that's why yes, membeli barang. Okay. So something is missing here, the important ciri for alat perantaran pertukaran. So last time when we have no money, how do we using goods to exchange for another goods? Which is system barter, right? So system barter, we have to wait for both parties to agree on the deal, which means I'm using my barang A to exchange your barang B. But actually, I wanted your barang B, but you actually don't want my barang A, so you wanted the barang C. So that's why system barter not going to function. So when this is system 1, so we can try to just pay the money, then you use the money to buy whatever your barang C, D, E. So that's why I just want to buy your barang B, I pay you the money. Then you use my money to buy your barang C, D, E. So this is, guys, important keywords. System 1 within the alat perantaran pertukaran is without kehendak serendah. I hope you guys still memorize the keyword. So right now, tanpa kehendak serendah. Okay? Tanpa kehendak serendah. So what's kehendak? The needs to buy the barang and perkhidmatan. But we do need both parties to agree. So that's why serendah is at the same time. You don't need to let the party A and party B to agree on the deal. As long as you take my money, then you give me your goods. So that's why kehendak serendah is only works in system 1. But we needed kehendak serendah for system barter. So that's why not only the fungsi 1, try to refer back to your textbook or TDC old notes last year 1. Focus in your kelebihan and kelemahan system barter. So put a star here. Can I try to focus on kelemahan system barter? So that's why the kelemahan system barter, vice versa, it will be the kelebihan for system 1. So kelemahan system barter. Okay, so what is all the ciri-ciri within the kelemahan system barter? So which means within the kelemahan system barter, please memorize. We still have to memorize the ciri-ciri 1. Okay, so ciri-ciri 1. Anyone can recall how many ciri? Since we have 4 fungsi 1, anyone can recall how many ciri 1? 6 here. So which means you already done study, right? So what is the first ciri 1? Please list out in your empty space. So the first ciri 1 is the most important ciri that connected to your fungsi 1. So what's the first fungsi 1? Alat perantaran pertukaran. And then the first ciri 1 will be formed as your definisi 1. So guys, when you guys are trying to jot down, this is the Form 4 Part 3, right? Try to give some space for the 1 punya definisi. Okay, so the first ciri 1 will be terima umum. If you haven't started studying yet, please focus in your Form 4 Part 3 because the Form 5 first exam most likely is going to cover not more than 10 marks for your Form 4 Part 1, similar to the SPM format. So your Form 4 Part 2 is going to be around minimum 12 marks until almost not more than 20 marks, around 17, 16. So your Form 4 Part 3 in your first term exam for Form 5, there will be at least more than 10 marks, 10 to 15. So Form 4 Part 4 around, yeah, Form 4 Part 4 is depends on the tafsiran. So it can be as low as 8 marks, can be as high as 20 marks for the Form 4 Part 4. So that's why this is the second sessions for seminar. I'm trying to focus around the exam format for your midterm only, not the SPM format. So remember, first ciri one is the diterima umum. What is diterima umum? As long as within the country, we are using this country's currency, then this currency is allowing us to buy anything within the market. Yeah, so this is the first ciri one. So anyone can memorize all the second, third, 4, 5, 6 ciri one. So that's why Kelemahawa also try to include all the, not included, include some of the ciri one. So maybe I try to write down here is better, since we have not really a lot of space to list up everything. Can anyone? When we are trying to learn the kelemahan sistem barter, which means we are using goods to exchange for another goods, right? Using the barang to exchange, tukar another barang. So let's say we are using meat to exchange for fruits or vegetables. So this is all the organic foods which is going to rotten. So that's why this is the weakness for system barter. So kelebihan for one is tidak mudah rosak. So that's why tidak mudah rosak, tahan lama. Yeah, so we change the tidak mudah rosak as the huraian into your faktor, which is the fakta known as tahan lama. Other than tahan lama, so when the money is last longer, what is the other ciri that we can use the money to replace the system barter? The value is stable. So Z got value, ada nilai. So nilai yang stabil. So which means we can change to kestabilan nilai. So when the money is going to have stable value, which means government have to protect the value not too high, not too low, which is your Form 5 objective macroeconomy under the kestabilan tingkat harga umum. So that's why Bank Bursa try to control the nilai wang yang stabil. So this is the objective macroeconomy. Okay, so kestabilan nilai is your objective macroeconomy. Form 4 Part 3 is nilai yang stabil. Can you recall, right? So how do we have nilai yang stabil? So we write out the answer on number 6 here, which is we all just revising the morning sessions from demand supply, right? So we are not going to have more demand or less demand. Okay, so more supply or less supply is going to cause the price keep increasing or decreasing too. So that's why we need the barang, nilai barang yang stabil, which means we don't want excessive demand supply or too less for the demand and supply. So which means we have to stabilkan the barang one, which means the supply has to be limited. So that's why penawaran terhad. So you guys know the short form for penawaran, right? So penawaran SS terhad. So try to memorize and link these two together. When the nilai wang is stabil, it's because our bank negara, which is the Bank Negara Malaysia, Bank Bursa, is trying to menawarkan wang yang terhad. So that's why penawaran wang yang terhad, nilai yang stabil, not too many, not too less for the supply. Can I? So two more. So when this is made of logam for the dish shilling, and then the paper is also lasts longer than the meat, right? So which means other than tahan lama, we can try to change for smaller remaining transactions so that we can try to settle the balance. So this is mudah dibahagi kepada unit kerja. Okay? Not enough space. So mudah dibahagi lah. So I'm just using some of the short form only. Mudah dibahagi kepada unit kerja. So which means we can try to pay 100. Actually, the amount is only 67 ringgit. So we are trying to get back the change for 33 ringgit. So mudah dibahagi kepada unit kerja. Other than that, so when this is able to giving back the balance, so which means we can carry the small amount of money anywhere we want. So which means mudah dibahagi dan mudah dibawa. Remember, mudah dibawa kepada mana-mana. So mudah dibahagi dan mudah dibawa. So why we have this mudah dibawa? Because wang yang bersaiz kecil dan ringan. Why is it mudah dibahagi kepada unit kecil? Because it's easier for us to conduct the perniagaan. So memudahkan urusan perniagaan. So remember, all the 6 ciri here, try to memorize the keyword to elaborating. So guys, I try to agak-agak read through. Ciri wang yang diterima umum kerana What's the keyword for diterima umum? Later I try to explain. Jaden, a moment. So how do we huraikan diterima umum? Anyone can recall? Ciri yang diterima umum kerana nilai wang memberi keyakinan kepada orang ramai. So we have the confidence, so that's why we just accept the currency. Very good. Diiktiraf kan? So which means recognize. Diiktiraf diterima orang ramai. So this is the huraian for diterima umum. So how do we huraikan? For tahan lama? Tidak mudah rosak. How do we huraikan nilai yang stabil? Penawaran terhad. How do we huraikan for penawaran terhad? Nilai, how do we, I've forgotten this huraian now. Guys, let me try to recall back to your form 4 bab 3. How do you huraikan for penawaran terhad? Supposed to be nilai yang stabil, right? Guys, a moment. Let me try to use back your form 5. Sorry, 2025 form 4. Bab 2A. Bab 2A, bab 3A. So for penawaran terhad, this is the superior's huraian ever. So penawaran terhad is just because Bank Pusat or Bank Negara Malaysia menjamin kestabilan nilai. This is how we huraikan for penawaran terhad. So dasar murah di bawah, precise, kecil dan ringan. Diterima umum memberi keyakinan kepada orang ramai. So tahan lama is tidak mudah rosak. So mudah dibahagi kepada unit kecil is memudahkan urusan perniagaan atau urus niaga. So the last one, kestabilan nilai is because nilai tidak mudah berubah. So if you wanted to huraikan the kestabilan nilai, so I prefer you guys to huraikan the number 6 ciri by your number 4. Nilai yang stabil for what is because penawaran yang terhad. So how do we elaborate for penawaran yang terhad? We're using nilai wang yang stabil. So which means we are using number 4 and 6, these two ciri, to huraikan for each other. So which means you just try to memorize the other formula. Diterima umum, mudah dibawa, mudah dibahagi, dan tahan lama. Okay, so guys, copy the definisi. So one is a tool, but this tool is with value, then we are using commodity. So most likely in your form 4, form 5 economy, right? Whenever you see this is the keyword commodity, it's referring to the bahan. Bahan mentah, sorry, I can't recall the raw material. So guys, remember, commodity in your form 5 economy is all referring to bahan mentah, raw material, especially in your form 4 bab 4, including your form 5 bab 2 lah. Yeah, so economy is bahan mentah. So that's why this bahan mentah is value, then this is the paper, wang kertas, and then the metal. This ciri yang diterima umum is the first ciri, and then the first fungsi sebagai alat perantaraan pertukaran. So please try to memorize the three keywords. So fungsi wang ialah, yeah, so I just try to the keyword commodity yang diterima umum. So this is the first ciri that you have to memorize first, diterima umum, dan sebagai alat perantaraan pertukaran. So just try to continue from the sentence below. Okay, so this is your one. Definitely, this is going to come up in objective or structure for your form 5 first term, around 4 to 6 marks maximum. Okay, I'm mentioning for the fungsi one, the ciri one, and then including the kelemahan system pattern. So maximum lower than 6 marks. Okay. Okay, so number 4, mudah dibahagi kepada unit kecil. So your money for 10 ringgit, we can try to dibahagi kepada 5 ringgit, 2 pieces of 5 ringgit. So let's say we have a beverage for 5 ringgit, you're paying for 10 ringgit, so I give you the balance back for 5 ringgit. So this is mudah dibahagi kepada unit kecil. Okay? Okay. Done. Okay. Done. So this is all your objective, your default homework. Try on your own. So done for the fungsi wang. So next time we are trying to learn the bank. So bank we have Bank Pusat and then Bank Perdagangan. Okay. So Bank Pusat is trying to mengeluarkan the wang. So guys, I don't think your form 5 still going to ask the Jenny's wang. So just trying to make sure. Those students attending last year. Okay, Shereen, Shayan, Elena, right? Elena, you're from which branch already? Just asking. Okay, and then Jaden, Lam Yan, Kai Hao, Yu Xuan, Jin Tin, Ziyi. How many Jenny's wang? Don't recall from the form 4 TDC notes. Recall from your form 4 textbook. Okay. So if you are mentioning 3, I don't want to mention your name. What is the 3 Jenny's wang? What's the three jenis wang? Okay, so answer will be two. Wang sa, wang tidak sah. So what's wang sa? Separate another two more ciri, which is your 2 shilling and 1 kertas. So this is recognized by our government, and then the bank also. So this is 2 shilling and 1 kertas is wang sa. Okay, so the other one, what is wang tidak sah? Guys, remember the keyword is wang tidak sah. It's not wang tak sah. Yeah, so wang bukan wang sah. Only can use bukan wang sah because SPM, the marker is different than a school teacher. So if your school teacher is strict, then which means SPM marker is going to become way more stricter. So that's why I just try to memorize every single keywords from a textbook only. So bukan wang sah. So bukan wang sah is a deposit master. Okay, so we are not using chat. Yes, in your form 4 month 3 Kai Hao already mentions 3 shilling and 1 kertas in your own nota. I even try to circle these two for you because 3 shilling and 1 kertas is not as wang sah, recognized by Kerajaan and Bank Pusat. Okay, so try not to memorize legal jenis wang. It's 2 jenis wang. Wang sah, bukan wang sah. Okay, so that's how to memorize the box only. So what is the difference with the 3 shilling and 1 kertas? Another K-part questions, but this is most likely going to ask for form 4 only. So anyone can recall? What's the difference perbezaan for 3 shilling and 1 kertas? At least we have 2 points here. Anyone can recall? 3 shilling tahan lama, the 1 kertas cannot tahan lama. Cannot? No. Okay, so that's how yes, if you wanted to mention the material, Jihin, so 3 shilling diperbuat daripada logam. 1 kertas diperbuat daripada kertas. So this is the first perbezaan. What's the second perbezaan? For the penawaran terhad, which means makes the 3 shilling becoming wang sah terhad. This is wang sah, tidak terhad. Understand? This is the second point. So at least 4 marks here for the perbezaan. Okay, so what is the meaning by terhad? When we are using the logam to produce the 3 shilling, so it's going to become higher cost for the bank pusat to produce the 3 shilling. So if we keep reprinting the 3 shilling, not only the nilai for 3 shilling is going to become depreciated, so the nilai lebih rendah. It's also causing the terhad gone, so which means we have to mention wang sah terhad is because penawaran terhad. Only the nilai yang stabil. So even though guys, we are trying to memorize the wang kertas is wang sah tidak terhad, keep reprinting. But when we are trying to keep reprinting the paper notes, which is the wang kertas, under the wang sah tidak terhad, right? So the old paper notes, our bank berdagangan, and then the bank pusat is going to burn and then try to delete some of the penawaran wang. So which means the penawaran wang is always terhad, but we are just going to reprinting the wang kertas almost every year. So this is why during the Chinese New Year, we always going to the bank, your parents try to withdraw the fresh new wang kertas. So that's why when you guys are collecting your ang pao during Chinese New Year, right? So we are trying to smell the new paper notes is going to become much more fresher. So this is the new printed wang kertas. So that's why it's considered as wang sah tidak terhad. But remember, the perkaran for wang sah is always terhad. It's just that keep reprinting but deleting the old paper notes. But this is not going to try to reproduce, try to reprinted another 3 shilling. No more. Just we are going to remain the 3 shilling. After we print, after we produce, then no longer try to increase the quantity. Not going to delete, not going to reduce. Okay, so this is penawaran terhad, so wang sah terhad. So this penawaran still terhad, but wang sah terhad because we can reprint. So this is the second point. So the third point, which means we have another K-part questions. Most likely just going to come out in form 4 only, which is wang tanda. But wang tanda is always persamaan. 3 shilling and 1 kertas is wang tanda, which means the value, the numbers, the figures on the 3 shilling and then the 1 kertas is usually higher than the original value from the paper and the logam. So if we try to melt the 50 cent into metal, this piece of melted metal from this 50 cent is not even worth 10 cent. So that's why the nilai muka 3 shilling is always higher than the nilai logam, wang tanda. So imagine the same thing for the paper notes. So we have 100 paper notes. So if you try to tear apart, and then we are trying to sell it 2 different pieces of 100 ringgit, is it going to worth 50-50? No. If you tear the 100 ringgit, it's not even worth 10 cent. So this is why nilai muka wang kertas lebih tinggi daripada nilai kertas. So I just try to summarize. 3 shilling dan wang kertas adalah wang tanda dengan nilai mukanya lebih tinggi daripada nilai sebenar. I'll try to repeat Yuxuan. I know you're not paying attention, Yuxuan. Put down your phone and Zixing. You guys are using the phone now, right? Because usually when I try to done teach you anything, you two are going to ask me question. When you guys are not asking question, which means you guys are AFK, not paying attention. Put away your phone. On your camera. Kena? So, dia sharing yang wang kertas ialah wang tanda dengan nilai muka lebih tinggi daripada nilai sebenarnya. So that's the persamaan for tuition and wang kertas. But most likely it's going to test on form 4 only. So be careful, your teacher is going to repeat this exam in your form 5 midterm. Okay, first term or midterm. Kena? So what is deposit semasa? It's a check, but never use check. So the jenis wang for deposit semasa is bukan wang sah. So that's right. How do we use this deposit semasa? Only the per million for account semasa, remember? So this is your bank perdagangan. So we have the account semasa, then you can only try to becoming the customer pelanggan for this bank perdagangan, then you can use the deposit semasa, known as your bukan wang sah. Understand? So this is the jenis one all finished. So we are trying to memorize bank perdagangan first. Only we goes back to the bank pusat later because bank pusat is much more important. Okay, so for the bank perdagangan, we have different deposit, 3 deposit, which means the different accounts in the bank. So how to differentiate accounts semasa simpanan tetap? Zixing. Zixing left the class. Where's Zixing? Yuxuan, just I saw her entering the class, but suddenly got missing. So using account semasa can use overdraft and check. My question is how to differentiate these 3 accounts. Okay, Jihin. Account simpanan faedah determin rendah. Okay. So that's why we are using interest. So that's why when we are using interest, it's known as your kada faedah. So kada faedah for account semasa. Tiada. Kada faedah for account simpanan rendah. So kada faedah as the pulangan for account simpanan tetap is tinggi. Okay. Okay, so using kada faedah to determine these 3 accounts. Read the questions, then know lah. You sure or not? Okay, so this is the second fungsi for bank perdagangan, which is if you guys have the accounts in the bank, so which means you can using your accounts to conduct the transactions. So guys, go to the third one. Menerima dan membuat bayaran. It's not memberi. We are using our accounts semasa simpanan and simpanan tetap to receive and make payment. So it's not memberi dan membuat bayaran. It's menerima dan membuat bayaran. I'll show you guys bank perdagangan. Menerima deposit daripada orang ramai is the 3 account, right? Account simpanan, account semasa, and then simpanan tetap. Your previous year nota last year. So next one we try to focus on membuat dan menerima bayaran. Okay, we change the title. It's not memberi dan membuat bayaran. So we are trying to make payment and make payment. When we try to give and make payment is the same thing. So menerima dan membuat bayaran. Okay, we change the tajuk a little. Okay. Menerima dan membuat bayaran. So we can using the why so different one. So guys put a star here. Put a line here. So that's why check is the first method of bayaran. So all the remaining 6 is all under arahan kepada bank. So guys draw an arrow down. This is all arahan kepada bank. Arahan kepada bank. So what I have to mentions about the remaining 6 arahan kepada bank because this is not within the arahan kepada bank. We're just trying to use check. So that's why the arahan kepada bank we have the other 6. So which means check is according to the arahan from customer. Okay, directly into the receiver. So let's say you're trying to pay to your debtors, you're trying to pay to your not seller. Yeah, the receiver, which means you owe them the money, so you just pay the check. So this is not arahan kepada bank. So you are trying to give the instructions arahan kepada bank is using this remaining 6. Yeah. So how do we differentiate these first 3? So that's why 2, 3, 4. use arrow to determine. So when we are trying to give the sending instructions, perintah sedia ada. So it's part the first one for the instructions to the bank, which means we are asking the bank to help you for the installment, which every month is almost the same date and then the same amount for a long time. So that's why remember we are just going to focus on the first one is the amount first. Amount bayaran. Arahan kepada bank, focus on amount bayaran, just amount. So the next one is the tempo masa. So I'm just using tempo. So when the amount is the same for every month, and then every month is going to become the same date, this is arahan. Perintah sedia kepada perintah sedia ada. So the next one, what is debit langsung? You are going to make the same payment every month, but amount is different. So the amount is different, but the tempo masa is the same. So what is the contoh for perintah sedia ada? That's the installment to pay your housing loan, and then the car loan. So every month, maybe let's say on the 7th of every month. So which means the first week, right? Date 7th of every month. So let's say this is April. So every month we have to pay for the car loan, housing loan. So this is almost the same amount, same time for perintah sedia ada. So what is the other expenses you guys have to pay every month, but the amount is always different. Let's say for utility bill, you are paying for electricity bill, you are paying for your water bill. So this is why debit langsung is different amount but same time every month. Okay, so what's pinjaman credit? So sometimes you are going to owe the money to your debtors. So sometimes it's not. So the amount is always different. And then it's always different times. So this pinjaman credit, such as we have the input berubah, buruh. So this month I'm going to need 5 buruh. Next month I'm trying to rest for 1 whole month. So I'm going to pecat all my buruh. So this month I'm going to pay the perbelanjaan for the upah buruh. But next month I'm not going to pay. So that's why the hutang for gaji is under pinjaman credit, especially in your exam. So other than that, any perbelanjaan semasa, I just try to spend the money on entertainment. So let's say I'm trying to buy barang and perkhidmatan. So this month I'm buying, next month I'm not buying. So this is why I'm using credit card. I'm using the cash. It's still, so I'm not using cash, using debit card or credit card. So this is under pinjaman credit. Okay, so if I'm just specifically trying to mention about the credit card, then this credit card. So credit card is able to spend more than the savings in your account. Okay, so this card debit, so you're just able to spend within a limit in your savings. So what kind of saving can be account simpanan, can be account semasa. So credit card, also your account simpanan. Okay, but never your simpanan tetap mah. Okay, so guys, draw another line. Check is in RM, the currency from Malaysia. So draft bank is another check, but it's not in RM, can be any country's currency. So this is how simple to memorize the draft bank, even though it's still under the arahan kepada bank, but it's similar to the check format, just different currency. So this is all your 6 arahan kepada bank. Any questions? Jaden? Yushan? 还用电话吗？你不问问题是不正常的。You're supposed to ask me question 吗？ No questions? We haven't entered the form 4 yet lah. 爆炸了 then. Starting from this month, after the seminar, after next week, week 2. I try to arrange Saturday morning or Sunday morning for extra class. Yeah. Okay, so the last fungsi for bank perdagangan is memberi pinjaman. Actually, we have another fungsi. So it's known as perkhidmatan lain-lain under the bank perdagangan. Later, I'll show you guys from the form 4 bab 3 TDC nota. So when memberi pinjaman, overdraft is, guys, draw the line. Overdraft is only for account semasa. So that's why if you are trying to use the account semasa to pay for the check, so draw the 2 lines. So check is only the pemilik account semasa can use the perkhidmatan. So that's why check is actually under perkhidmatan lain-lain. Okay. So when we are the pemilik account semasa, current account, so we can use check. So now our current account, I have only 10,000, but I needed to buy the bahan mentah to continue my operations for my business. Then maybe I needed to pay the check to my debtors to buy the bahan mentah, the raw material, for let's say 12,000. So which means I am lack of another 2,000. So I'm just going to call the bank. Hey, I have a check for 12,000. So make it process. So the bank is going to know that, oh, this customer asked me to continue with the transactions for 12,000 check. So his account is only having 10,000. So which means automatically the bank is going to charge you 2,000 pinjaman overdraft yang kada faedah tinggi. Okay, so please use your arrow. Tinggi is referring to the kada faedah using the arrow up. Or just try to write out this is the kada faedah tinggi. Yeah, so the kada faedah and tinggi under this pinjaman overdraft is not going to charge on your 12,000 because you have 10,000 savings. So the kada faedah tinggi on your pinjaman overdraft is based on the kekurangan 2,000. So which means your lack of 2,000, then this is the pinjam overdraft with kada faedah tinggi just depend on your 2,000. Okay. This is bank perdagangan servicing for the public, which means masyarakat. Okay, so done for the pinjaman. So guys, which other pinjaman here is also kada faedah dikenakan tinggi? Which one is the pinjaman yang di-charge dikenakan kada faedah tinggi? So the highest one is always the card credit. Other than that, refer to the personal one, individual. So we have individual for pinjaman peribadi. So this three is pinjaman berkaedah tinggi. Yeah, but the highest one is always card credit. So what is kada faedah yang paling rendah? Always for the asset property. So that's why caga. So pinjaman bercaga is what we call housing loan. Okay, or not as property mortgage. Mortgage is housing loan. Yeah, so this is kada faedah rendah. Why? Because for the 1, 4, and 5, this pinjaman overdraft, peribadi, and card credit, you guys have to pay back the pinjaman within few months or not more than 1 year. So lesser than 1 year, which means the pinjaman tempoh masa yang pendek, the kada faedah is tinggi. So songsang. So if this is pinjaman percaga, so also songsang, right? So longer the period, pinjaman percaga yang mempunyai tempoh masa pulangan balik yang panjang, so the kada faedah usually is lower. So which means makes the pinjaman sewa beli on kenderaan. This is only strictly for kenderaan, not as hire purchase. So not more than 10 years. So for the 1, 4, 5 is less than 1 year. Pinjaman percaga usually is more than 30 years. So pinjaman sewa beli less than 10 years, around 7 to 9 years. So some people is trying to apply the sewa beli, try to get charged higher interest because they are trying to settle the hire purchase on car loan for settling within 5 years. So that's why for me, I think try to drag longer, then my ansuran bulanan for the sewa beli will be lower. So that's why my beban kewangan is not that heavy. That's why pinjaman sewa beli is sederhana, but we don't need to mention that. So mendisahkan bil pertukaran is just that you're trying to buy this bill not as bond. Your Form 5 Dasa Fiskal is going to recognize this one as the surat jaminan or security kerajaan. So you just buy this security, but not from kerajaan, but from this bank perdagangan. So which means bank trying to give you one bill. So this is a bond. So this bond is written as 10,000, but actually you're trying purchasing it with 8,000. So which means I promise you, after you buy my bond for 8,000, 2 years later I give you back 10,000. So the 2,000 differences will be your interest. So how good is it, high or low for the kada faedah? We don't even know. Just similar to the sewa beli, just around medium rate. So that's why just try to memorize 1, 4, 5 is kada faedah tinggi. Only pinjaman percaga yang diberi tempoh masa panjang untuk membayar balik the kada faedah is longer than 30 years, then the kada faedah is low. So done for your bank perdagangan. Okay, so remember bank perdagangan is servicing to the people, memberi perkhidmatan kepada orang ramai. Okay, but bank pusat memberi perkhidmatan kepada kerajaan dan korporasi. What is korporasi? Your Form 5 learn from the Dasa Fiskal, right? Korporasi is all the syarikat multinational, which means big company. So this is the bank perdagangan. So normal people, we are not entitled to get the services from bank perdagangan, bank pusat. But actually, bank pusat motive is try to take care of the kebajikan masyarakat because it's part of kerajaan. So bank pusat, the first fungsi, try to prepare all the mata wang. So the wang is actually wangsa. So that's all the wangsa have to get the nilai wang yang stabil for our RM. So the bank besar also try to services our kerajaan and then all the bank corporates, which is the bank perdagangan, because bank perdagangan is helping the bank pusat trying to manage the economy to become stable by increasing and decreasing the kada faedah after the bank pusat announce. So bank pusat just try to announce bank perdagangan is going to increase or decrease the kada faedah for the savings for the pinjaman. Okay, so this is the fungsi for bank pusat. Okay, so done. Okay, so remember packet. Your form 4 is going to ask how many juru bank kepada kerajaan. Then they are going to ask you guys for five more subtopic within the juru bank kepada kerajaan. So which means the five more fungsi is actually worth 10 marks. So juru bank kepada perdagangan we have 4, which means total marks is going to work for 8 marks. So you better pray you study the juru bank kepada kerajaan and juru bank kepada bank perdagangan. Okay, so before I try to discuss the 82, so look at your bank pusat and bank perdagangan. So bank pusat for the 5 subtopic will be menggunakan mata wang, mengawal kestabilan undang-undang serta right juru bank kepada kerajaan. So this is the 5 points worth 10 marks here. So mentapik account kerajaan. So account kerajaan is form 4, your form 5. The account kerajaan is actually your imbangan pembayaran, your fourth objective macroeconomy. Why? Yeah, the account kewangan under the account kerajaan, the hasil is C, the perbelanjaan is S. Understand? Okay, so account kewangan is actually tried to record it by the Bank Negara Malaysia. So Bank Negara Malaysia is trying to give all the data to our kerajaan. So kerajaan is look at the old data collected from this year. So before the year ends, for the last 3 months, so government just going to base on the old data, try to predict the upcoming years, how much hasil we are going to agak-agak receiving, how much berbelanja we are agak-agak going to spend, so that we are trying to prevent the economy on upcoming years to becoming excessive inflation more than 5% or kemelesetan. So that's why account kewangan is all the data recorded by the bank pusat. So only the kerajaan can try to discuss next year to counter the inflasi or kemelesetan. We are using dasar fiscal mengembang or mengenjot. Understand? Okay, so this is the first point, mentapik account kerajaan. Next one is memberi pendahuluan sementara, mengurus hutang negara, memberi nasihat pelaporan, and then mengurus pertukaran asing. So please make sure you guys know how to write down. Okay, so usually when I try to predict, right, Jaden, give up, right? Teacher predict this is going to come up, then we can give up. I sincerely thinking that this is still going to come out in your Form 5 because it's no longer going to come out in your SPM. So Form 5 first term, midterm maybe it's going to ask for the juru bank kepada kerajaan for 6 or 8 marks, not more than 10 marks. Usually 6 or 8. And then the juru bank kepada bank perdagangan, we have 3 points, right? So which means not more than 6 marks. So at least learn how to write. Okay, because they are going to come out, this is the juru bank kepada kerajaan dan bank perdagangan only in objective, most likely. They are not going to come out in soalan struktur. I never seen this is the fungsi bank pusat asking for the soalan struktur and never essay for the terangkan juru bank kepada kerajaan and juru bank kepada bank perdagangan. Only for Form 4 last term or Form 5 first term, always. Okay, so that's why at least try to read through for your first term Form 5. Okay, so now goes back to the request from one students asking for soalan 82. So this is in the center, which means this is known as persamaan. So right now, this is persamaan. So what is the kawasan pelorek persamaan for W? So menerima deposit pada orang ramai. Is it bank perdagangan is going to keep the savings from orang ramai? Yes, but never for bank besar because bank besar never service for the people. So is it bank pusat is try to menstabilkan nilai mata wang is definitely 100% yes. So untuk menstabilkan nilai mata wang, so that's why bank perdagangan sometimes is going to help the bank pusat to control the nilai mata wang by listening to the instructions for bank pusat to increase or decrease the kadar faedah. So that's why answer is B. Very obvious. So C is definitely not true because bank pusat is part of kerajaan, never trying to memaksimalkan keuntungan. It's trying to memaksimalkan kebajikan masyarakat by serving the government, kerajaan, and then servicing the bank perdagangan, trying to help them to keep the result pekanun and result tunai. So that's why result pekanun is the savings for bank perdagangan to compulsory save in the bank pusat. So only the bank perdagangan is assisting the bank pusat to control the nilai mata wang. So guys, let's say how to control nilai mata wang for both parties. So bank pusat is going to base on the data predicting that next year we are going to have kemelesetan economy. So guys, I try to give you guys, so that's why don't trust the memberi pinjaman kepada kerajaan. Oh, also can. Also can. So guys, Donkey is much more precise later. So questions me is I let you guys know why I try to circle the B first. Because menstabilkan nilai mata wang is the decisions made by bank pusat. So the decision made by bank pusat, but bank pusat is not going to control the kada faedah by themselves. They're just going to announce, and then bank pedagang assists the bank pusat. So listen carefully. Bank pedagang is just listening the command from bank pusat to help the bank pusat to control nilai mata wang. Okay, so which means this is 100% true, this is 50% true for menstabilkan nilai mata wang because they have to listen to the command from bank pusat. Okay, so C is definitely wrong, right? So why is it donkey? Because when Kerajaan is trying to conduct some project pembangunan, lack of hasil negara. So that's why usually Kerajaan is trying to get the pinjaman from bank pusat. Okay, so when bank pusat is insufficient money, let's say the commercial economy is too bad, so bank Kerajaan also try to get the pinjaman from bank pedagang. So how do we know? Bank pusat. So Kerajaan is trying to get the loan from bank pusat. So bank juru bank kepada kerajaan this is mengurus hutang negara. So which means either the bank pusat try to loan the money to kerajaan. So that's why kerajaan have to pay back the money to the bank pusat not more than 3 months. So that's why guys memberi pendahuluan sementara. Actually it's the first pinjaman from kerajaan asking from the bank pusat. So if bank pusat not enough cash, then how? So you look at the mengurus hutang negara. So the mengurus hutang negara. So you can see menjual the second one, menjual bil pendanaan dan surat jaminan kerajaan kepada institusi keuangan. So which means government is trying to give a letter, so known as bond, to the institusi keuangan. What is institusi keuangan? Bank perdagangan. So that's why the bank perdagangan also try to loan the money to kerajaan. So kerajaan is going to get this money to conduct more project. So in future, maybe it's going to get an interest or dividend. So that's why from the second sentence for each memberi pendahuluan sementara and mengurus hutang negara, we can see that kerajaan is actually getting the pinjaman from bank pusat and then the institusi keuangan, which is from bank perdagangan. Okay, so that's why this is much more precise than this is only 100% true. This is 50% true. Because they're just listening to command to bank pusat. The intention for bank perdagangan is memaksimalkan keuntungan. So that's why this is correct, but only 50% for bank perdagangan. But this is true for each side. So bank pusat and bank perdagangan is just going to control the money, and they can try to lend the money to kerajaan. Okay, so donkey is much more specific. So that's why this is the SPM format. So sometimes the answer is true, but not really true for 100%. But this is definitely true for both sides. Okay, Ziyi. Okay. So done for 82. Okay, so fungsi for bank, fungsi for one sector. We still have your PBG. Oh, Bank Islam first. I forgot the Bank Islam. So that's SPM. Not more than 2 questions. Your midterm. At least 1 question. At least 1. So sometimes 1. Sometimes at least 1. So which means around 2. So SPM 100% is always 2 objective. Always 2 objective in your SPM. So which means what is scheme perbankan Islam? So the principle for scheme perbankan Islam is the bank Islam is never going to receive riba. So Atika, I think you are the only Islam here, right? Muslim. Yeah. So what's the meaning by riba? I'm afraid that I'm explaining wrongly for the riba. What is riba? I'll show you guys the bank Islam. Yeah, all the scheme perbankan Islam is tidak berunsur riba. Bank Islam. Bank Islam. So look at the second sentence. Urusan for scheme perbankan Islam cross off tidak berunsur riba. Faedah yang tinggi tidak berbebaskan peminjam. No. Riba is actually faedah. So they're just using different term. So what's faedah? Not only is interest, also benefits. So that's why when the bank is trying to receive your savings or try to give you guys loan, so the transaction is going to charge interest. Let's say you guys are the normal customer and the bank perdagangan, no, a scheme perbankan conventional. So conventional is a traditional bank yang menchargekan interest in the money. So if you save money in my bank, I give you the interest. So if you take loan from me, I charge you the interest. So either I give you the interest from your savings or either I charge you from the money I'm loaning to you. So this is perkara berdasarkan kadar faedah. So actually the interest is prohibited in Islam teaching, which means prinsip Sharia or hukum Islam. So what is hukum Islam? You're just trying to using the resources for your purpose. Let's say pengguna is trying to membeli barang secara mencapai kepuasan maksimum. But no more kepuasan maksimum in sistem ekonomi Islam. Why? Because they are trying to mencapai hukum Islam, which is the al-falah. What is al-falah? Keseimbangan dan kesederhanaan. So which means when we are trying to buy something, so I'm trying to take the loan from the Bank Islam. So Bank Islam is not going to charge me interest. So they are just going to help me to buy the things. So it means that Islam not going to make profit. Islam is the pihak swasta. They still can make profit, but they are not trying to memaksimumkan keuntungan. So that's why isi rumah in Bank Islam kena memaksimumkan kepuasan. So the firma-firma swasta kena memaksimumkan keuntungan. So which means I just try to take the money, pinjam the money from Bank Islam. So pinjaman from Bank Islam is never going to charge me the faedah, because faedah enables the Bank Islam to maximumkan keuntungan. So which means Bank Islam just going to tell me that I'm helping you to buy the things, but you have to let me make some profit. So I just trying to be fair to you that no matter the economy is good or bad, I'm not going to maximumkan keuntungan, then I'm just going to charge you 10% higher than the original price. So that's why the 10% is my profit. So it's not faedah. So faedah is, if you guys refer to the current society, right? Our bank pusat is always trying to increase or decrease the kadar faedah. So when the economy is bad, so Bank Pusat is just going to announce to the whole country using social media, using newspaper. They are just trying to announce economy is mengalami kemelesetan in the recent 2 weeks. So before the situation in economy is getting worse, for the kemelesetan is going to get more negative. So Kerajaan, which is the Bank Pusat, is going to announce they are trying to decrease the kadar faedah so that you have no reason to save money, so you're going to start spending the money. So if you are trying to save money, Bank Besar try to announce that we are trying to decrease the kadar faedah, which means your return from the account simpanan and then account simpanan tetap, the return is going to become lesser. So lesser, then you have no point to save money, and then you also can sort of start spending the money. Understand? So other than that, pinjaman also going to charge the faedah. So the faedah is if you wanted to take a loan, yeah, but the rate interest kadar faedah for loan now is low, which means you try to pinjam money, but you try to return lesser money to the bank. So which means it's encouraging you guys as an isi rumah or firma try to get more loan from bank. So the bank is giving you guys the loan with low interest, then you guys are going to start spending the money. So permintaan increase. So it's able to solve kemanusiaan economy. So this is the purpose for dasar keuangan. So which means when the economy is good, Bank Pusat try to increase the kadar faedah, enables the bank perdagangan or the bank commissioner to maximize the profit. But Bank Islam is trying to tell the whole world that we are the Bank Islam yang berlandaskan hukum Islam. So that's why we are not going to take the maximum profit trying to increase the kadar faedah from the Bank Pusat. We don't care about the kadar faedah. So that's why tidak berunsur riba is we just try to make sure that no matter economy is good or bad, I'm just going to take another 10% from your price. So this is my loan to you. Understand? So remember, riba is actually the faedah. So that's why the faedah is prohibited in Islam. Okay, so just remember, tidak berunsur riba for Bank Islam. So what's wadia? Similar to the hadiah, right? So which means if we save money in normal bank, conventional, so the bank is going to give us the interest. No matter the economy is good or bad, I'm going to constantly trying to receive the specific amount, constant amounts from the interest. Okay, so Bank Islam is trying to collect the money savings from you guys, but they are not going to give you the interest. So I just try to help you to keep your property or your jewelry or your amount of money. So you save money in my bank account, Islam. So after 100 years later, let's say you try to save 1 million in my bank Islam. 100 years later, the amount of money still remain the same 100 million. So I'm not going to give you any interest. So how am I able to attract you guys to save the money 1 million in my bank Islam? So I'm going to give you guys a hadiah lah. So hadiah is like not going to give the interest as unsur riba. So just trying to attract you guys to save money in my bank Islam for like lottery. So what's lottery? I'm trying to choose from all my customer, 100 customer in my bank Islam. So maybe this one I'm just trying to choose 5 customer randomly, try to give you guys the wadia. So which means it's just like a game. So only is able to attract normal people, try to save more money in the bank Islam, because sometimes I just try to save 10 ringgit, 100 ringgit or few thousand. Then the bank Islam is going to give me the hadiah like an iPad, like a free motorbike or a free car. Okay, so this is what we call whatever to attract the people, save money in bank Islam. So what's mudharaba? So when you look at this is the mudharaba. Okay, it's just guys bracket mudah. So sounds like mudah, easily, right? So easily try to uh get the money. So that's why no riba, which means we have raba not as dividend. What's the meaning by dividend? Perkongsian keuntungan. So perkongsian keuntungan. So let's say you try to save the money in my bank Islam. After 10 years later, you are not going to become the lucky winner from the normal scheme Wadian. So which means you just try to tell the bank Islam, let's say me, I'm the bank Islam, you try to save your money, amanah in my bank Islam. For the consecutive 10 years, you're not going to receive any Wadian. You're just a bad luck people. So maybe you're just asking me that my money saved in your bank for 10 years is not going to have any increment. So why not you just take my money? Asking me to take your money as a mudharaba, so I'm going to take your money to invest. So when I try to invest and I perform good, then I just show you the perkongsian keuntungan. So dividend is when the firma swasta make good profit. So we split the untung with higher rate. So this dividend. So if the bank Islam is trying to perform very bad due to the COVID-19, due to the world war now, so that's why economy is not that good, but actually the bank Islam still able to make some profit. So the splitting of profit perkongsian keuntungan will be lower. So dividend is depending on the performance of the company. So company is able to perform good, so your dividend is going to higher. So if the economy is bad, bank Islam try their best to use the money to invest, but the whole world is going to have World War III. So you are not going to get any dividend because the bank Islam cannot try to change the whole economic situation. So unless the whole economy is inflationary, only my bank Islam is perform so poor. So you have no perkongsian keuntungan, but your kerugian from your savings in bank Islam, I'm going to return to you. So usually bank Islam is not going to responsible when the whole economy is bad. So if economy is good, I still try to perform bad, then I'm going to return you your own savings. So this is mudharaba. Okay, so please remember, for the wadah is similar to the accounts semasa and simpanan. So why is it simpanan? Interest, yes, we have, but only 1%. Imagine, Form 5 we try to learn, kadar inflasi for the sederhana is always 2 to 3%. So if you save money in wadah or the account simpanan for normal bank belakangan, your increasing 1% is the none under the inflation effect. So usually the return is just slowing down your money to become depreciating. Understand? Okay, so for mudharaba is perkongsian keuntung, which means if I'm the bank Islam, you save money in this scheme mudharaba, I perform good investment, so I split more untung to you. So mudharaba. So what is buy? Buy is known as ansuran. So which means you're asking me, bank Islam, to help you to buy some car, buy a house. So let's say the house is worth 1 million. So I help you to buy first. So I wanted to make 10% from your total 1 million. So that's why you have to return me secara ansuran with 1.1 million. So that's why I'm not going to charge the percentage, 10%. I'm just going to let you know that my margin keuntungan is 10%. So please return me 1.1 million for another 30 years. Okay, so this is the ansuran known as buy ditambah anjur. So bracket, this is ansuran. Ansuran for car, ansuran for house is all buy ditambah anjur. So what's takjiri? So that's why you can see the eyes look like a person. So just a person to another person, which means my property, my car, you guys wanted to buy a car, wanted to buy a house. So after you guys taking the buy bitama anjil from me, so now you already done settling the buy bitama anjil. So which means you already return me the 1.1 million. So that's why this house is no longer for me. Not belongs to me, bank stuff. Is you guys already settled the debts. So you guys are the new per millionaire. So if I'm helping you as a bank Islam to help you to buy the house, the car, so you are trying to return me the buy bitama anjil. So that's why this car, this house, even though it's written in your name, but still belongs to me because I'm holding the certificate. So after you're done settling for all the buy bitama anjil, so this car, this house belongs to you now. No, it's takjiri. So that's why the keyword for takjiri is tukar milik. Tukar milik. Okay. So this is our bank Islam. Done, huh? So next one, this is your bab 3B. So right down on top in your page number 26, bab 3B. So pendapatan produktif, we have buruh for upah. And then we have modal for faedah. So 7 is from the faktor pengeluaran tanah. So dividend is also from modal. So that's why modal we have either faedah or dividend. So know the difference, right? Faedah is when you save the money in this institusi kewangan. No matter this institute is from the swasta, trying to perform good or bad, they're going to give you guys a fixed rate, known as interest. So if the institusi kewangan or this institute is able to perform good, then your dividend is going to become higher. So if the institute is trying to perform very bad until no profit, then it's not going to split the keuntungan to you lah, because I have no profit. That's why we are not going to tanggung the kerugian. So I'm going to tanggung the kerugian. So you guys are also trying to lose in your share. So that's why usually dividend is referring to the saham. Okay, nah? So you use your modal to save money is modal for return faedah. So you use money to invest in saham. So that's why the modal to buy the saham, the return is dividend, including Bank Islam, because Bank Islam is tidak berunsur riba. So untung is for usahawan. So that's why we have puro modal, tanah, and then usahawan. Okay, so what's pendapatan tidak produktif? Just bayaran pindahan. What's the contoh for bayaran pindahan? Retiring pension, donations, beasiswa, and then pemberi wang. Just try to give the donations. Okay, pemberi wang is like donations. So this is all bayaran pindahan, including the wang saku from the teenagers. So done for the bab 3B. So next time we have pendapatan boleh guna, page number 26. So pendapatan berguna is using all your pendapatan productive. So on top right now, this is all your pendapatan productive only. Try to minus your 4 potongan wajib. So I don't need to mention this part anymore, right? But from 4 country, I have been keep asking you guys targeting one by one. Okay, so after the pendapatan boleh guna, so we have to minus the belanjawan. So this is the tabungan. So remember guys, pendapatan boleh guna is equals to perbelanjaan plus tabungan. Okay, because pendapatan minus potongan wajib is boleh guna. So boleh guna, you can use the pendapatan for buying things or for saving purpose. So remember, perbelanjaan plus tabungan is your PBG. Okay, so this is your 4 potongan wajib. So remember your form 5 bab 1.3, dasar fiskal, that's your cukai pendapatan bracket progressive. So anyone can tell me what's cukai yang berkadar progressive? We just learned last week, right? What's cukai progressive? Higher the income, higher the pendapatan, comma, higher the not tax, higher the kadar cukai. Always try to mention kadar cukai. No kadar minus 0.5 marks. I already mentioned to you guys since your form 4 bab 3. So the C in your form 4 bab 2 for the increasing C, decreasing S is always meningkatkan kadar cukai or menurunkan kadar cukai. So remember the C is kadar cukai. C. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't ask for the fungsi. So Kahal is trying to remind you guys, the purpose for this cukai pendapatan progressive is to merapatkan jurang pendapatan golongan kaya dan miskin. It's good. Yeah, so that's not the fungsi. So your form 4 bab 3 learned before, so link to your form 5 bab 1 now. Okay, done. So the exercises we try to focus on soalan struktur later. So after the pendapatan boleh guna, we have belanja peribadi. Where is belanja peribadi? That didn't even mention. Okay, so let me check belanja peribadi. Is all pendapatan, cukai. Okay, so that's supposed to be question number 121. Yeah, what is belanja peribadi? So that's why you try to learn the belanja peribadi, link to your form 5 dasar fiskal for the belanjawan negara. So that's why is the fungsi for, what is the definisi for belanja peribadi? Your form 5 belanjawan negara is a statement, satu penyata keuangan on agak-agak how much to receive and then to make the expenses within 1 year. That is belanjawan negara. So belanja peribadi is a penyata on atas anggaran. So hasil is for kerajaan, right? So the income for peribadi is anggaran pendapatan lah. Dan anggaran for belanja is the same thing for the individual on only 1 month. But bulanan yang akan datang. Ya, pada bulan akan datang. Is a statement. So this statement is penyata keuangan. So penyata atas anggaran pendapatan dan berbelanja individu pada bulan akan datang, pada upcoming months. So that's why everybody is trying to plan ahead for upcoming months. Pada bulan akan datang. So when you're done planning, so this is your script for your upcoming months. Do not overspend because you already know your previous months, how much income you're almost trying to get. Almost the same, right? So then you are going to plan next year, next month, not going to overspend from a normal income. Then only you can have savings. So you're trying to mengelakkan hutang. So you're not trying to menabung untuk keperluan kemacam-macam. So this one 132 is B. So we are not trying to prepare the belanjaan pribadi so that we are going to know that we are going to save next month for 5,000 ringgit. So that's why I can try to increase my permintaan after the 5,000 ringgit. No. So just planning, not the purpose for spending. So if we are able to prepare the belanjaan pribadi, so let's say we have perbelanjaan and savings, right? Tabungan, right? So the tabungan is going to get the faedah. So it's not going to make the keuntungan because we are not trying to run any business. So we can use the saving for business in future. But the purpose for belanja pribadi is not for saving, it's for getting more return. So memperolehkan pulangan yang lebih tinggi, not keuntungan. Because we can save money, then we can get the return pulangan from faedah, pulangan from dividend because it's modal. Okay? 111. This is PBG, right? So X minus Y. So sorry, W minus X. So W is your pendapatan. X is your potongan wajib. So guys, which one is pendapatan? Gaji dividen. Cara kita W is potongan wajib. Sewa tak untung is pendapatan produktif. Faedah dan wang saku cannot because faedah is pendapatan produktif. Wang saku is pendapatan tidak produktif. So no. So answer is either A or C. So look at the X is your potongan wajib. So which one is potongan wajib? Cukai jalan. Do we have such cukai jalan? So that's why actually this is the Form 4 syllabus linked to your Form 5. So that's why we have potongan wajib for cadangan perkesolah. So answer is C. So A, we have no such perbelanjaan for cukai jalan. Okay. So we have blue tabs, but not within your cukai langsung, cukai tak langsung. So this is X for expenses. So using your pendapatan minus your potongan wajib, pendapatan boleh guna. So X. Potongan wajib, how many do we have? 4. Cadangan perkeso, cadangan sokso, zakat, and then juga pendapatan. So that C, just based on the Y, already can determine the final answer. So look at the pendapatan boleh guna equals to what? Pendapatan boleh guna for is the combination of simpanan plus perbelanjaan. And this is perbelanjaan because premium is your barang kehendak. You already bought the cadangan sokso because your income is lower than 4,000. Then you are just trying to buy the needs to protect your keselamatan. So that's why you pay the 0.5% on your income to buy the sokso. So when you have higher than 4,000, then you don't need to buy the sokso. Perkeso, sokso is perkeso, sorry. So then you can use your additional income because you are pendapatan golongan tinggi. So you just try to buy the luxury premium for insurance. That's why it's premium insurance nyawa lah. So that's why this is the expenses. Understand? Okay, so this is all expenses. It's all expenses, but this is protecting you when your income is higher. So that's why when your income is lower than 4,000, you 100% is forcing the company to deduct 0.5% from your, let's say 4,000 is the requirement. So 4,000 minus 0.5%. So which means from your 4,000, everyone just paying 20 ringgit, then you can try to protect your safety nets. Cadangan perkeso. This is what we call subsidy. Just 20 ringgit each month. If your income is lower than 4,000, just 20 ringgit. Okay, I trying to focus on structure. You keep asking for objective. Can, no problem. So jumlah pelepasan cukai. So guys, what jumlah pelepasan cukai? Pelepasan cukai is using your pendapatan minus the pelepasan cukai. Pelepasan ada pelepasan cukai is known as your pendapatan boleh cukai. So pendapatan minus pelepasan cukai is your PBC. So which means if they're asking for pelepasan cukai, use your pendapatan to minus PBC lah. So do we have any PBC here? So this PBC. So this is your pendapatan. Cadangan perkeso, cadangan KWSP, and zakat this is your potongan wajib. So not relevant. Not relevant. Because these four is after you find out your pendapatan boleh cukai, so you just try to use your pendapatan boleh cukai to calculate your cukai yang dibayar. So after the amount of X for cukai yang perlu dibayar, you add on here. So cukai yang perlu dibayar is pendapatan cukai lah, plus the zakat, plus the cadangan perkeso and KWSP. This is your four potongan wajib. So guys, just trying to find the pelepasan cukai. So let's say pendapatan is 3. 3 minus 2 equals to PBC is 1. So if they're asking you to find the 1, how do we find? 3 minus 1 lah. So just taking your pendapatan individual minus the PBC. So the answer? 34,000 minus 16 and 400. So 17,600. So why is it so difficult to understand? Actually, you got one more. Actually, we're supposed to faster covering all the buffer that I'm using all the time remaining to do all the soalan struktur. 117. Can you ask so ma? Coba. Okay, so manakah dibiayai oleh pendapatan boleh guna? So guys, what's dibiayai? Which means we are able to afford, able to pinjam from PBG. So what's PBG? The money, the income that after we minus the 4 potongan wajib. So remember, pendapatan boleh guna is equals to your pendapatan minus the potongan wajib. Okay, so after we have the PBG, what can we spend on? Or maybe we can use for. So we can use the PBG for pay the electric bill. So cara mereka basically is within the potongan wajib, so not relevant. So juga pendapatan is your potongan wajib is not relevant. So that's why we can use the PBG to pay the electricity bill. We can pay the faedah pinjaman. So answer is 1 and 4. So what's the difficult part? You just have to understand the question. So answer wrong. That's why, remember, I always told you guys during the normal class, when TDC is trying to give you guys a nota answer and then the seminar answer, usually I don't refer. I trust my own. Okay, why? Because sometimes tutor try to key the answer, we click wrongly, we see wrongly. Too old guys, our eyesight not good as you guys teenagers. So sometimes we look at the answer is donkey, we just key in boy. So the answer is boy, then we key in donkey. Sometimes we make mistake one. Okay? So manakah yang dibiayai oleh pendapatan boleh guna? So you are not going to understand the questions, right? I already explained. PBG is pendapatan minus potongan wajib. So that's why this PBG we can spend, we can save. So that's why we can spend on bill electric. We can spend on faedah pinjaman. So if you don't understand, right, first thing you do first, you Google the whole sentence. Ask Google, ask AI to translate for you. Okay? Yeah, because I'm here to teach you guys the concept of economy. So if you ask me to translate, what is the meaning by DBIE? You guys have to ask your teacher Ruyo. Okay, budak sekarang. Okay, about technology to want to use, wanted to ask the cikgu not good in bahasa, tidak fasal dalam bahasa what. Yeah, so what you guys expect to do? Okay, I'm leaking bahasa too, but I don't need to understand what's DBIE. I can agak-agak understand the meaning. So I know that the second and the third one is the potongan wajib, so not relevant to the PBG. So I know the answer is 1 and 4. Okay, 承担, yes. What can we 承担? What can we spend on PBG? Utility bill, faedah pinjaman, because this is the per belanja. Okay, so my explanation is the same thing. 108怎样? You guys don't want to try object. You guys just want to try objective to want to let me to enter the soalan struktur, which means next week extra class we finish all the soalan struktur. Okay, so pendapatan minus P becomes in PBC. So P is what? P is, anyone? PBC is the amount that we are able to calculate for the cukai pendapatan progressive, right? So P is your pelepasan cukai. So right now, P is pelepasan cukai. So what kind of pelepasan cukai is it? Diri sendiri. Okay? And then isteri, anak. Perubatan for ibu bapa. So cara berkeso is potongan wajib. Potongan wajib. Answer tongki lah ada. 5 seconds we can finish. Extra class for form 5 up 2. I wanted to guys. You guys have to understand, sumber economy yang terhad, sumber tenaga cikgu also terhad. From Monday to Sunday, I have to teach. Yesterday, RPT. Today, seminar. Okay, guys, let me try to rest a little. I need to save you. I need to save everyone. But before I'm able to save everyone, let me rest. I haven't even recovered from the cough. You guys don't want to buy me some medicine. Don't want to belanja me milk tea. So how am I able to teach? Just kidding. Just kidding. So maybe Monday or Tuesday night, you guys try to rest first. So after resting, after my 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. class on Monday, Tuesday, when I reach home, midnight also, guys, I really try to enjoy teaching in midnight. All the environment is quiet. I know you guys wanted to sleep, but you guys just try to wake up, let's say for 1 hour, 30 minutes. We can settle some topics, right? Okay. Milk tea panas punya, then not so coughing, lor. Okay, just kidding. Friday cannot, man. Friday I have been teaching from afternoon 3 hours, evening 3 hours without dinner. So let me finish my dinner almost 11 or 12. Then after 12, we can have extra class. I can. Because Saturday, I'm no longer teaching for physical class. I can sleep around 3 to 4. So happy. Yes, Friday evening, midnight can. Okay, so answer really no. P is your pelepasan cukai. So we try to understand what is Q. Pendapatan minus what is pengguna plus simpanan. So pengguna plus simpanan is your PBG, right? So this is your PBG. So what do we have to minus? Potongan wajib. What is potongan wajib? Juga pendapatan perseorangan lah. Cara makan lah. Okay, so Q, what ACD is correct. So B is definitely wrong because tanggungan anak di bawah 18 tahun, this one supposed to be your pelepasan cukai. KWSP is your Q. So which means this is vice versa. So if the answer is the pilihan for B, right? If you vice versa it, then this is answer B and Dongki is the same. Okay, so which means this is the wrong putiran. Okay, okay, so this is why you guys ask me question more, then the class will be much more fun. Okay, so the students which are very quiet, Atika, Shireen, Shayan, Elena, Lamien, you guys are here to ask questions. Even though I'm trying to teach you guys the technique, but I'm not able to. So guys, Form 4 Part 4 done. Form 4 Part 3 done. So Form 4 Part 4, page number 29. We have another 30 minutes only. So this is your Form 4 Part 4 pengeluaran. So right now, Form 4 Part 4. Pendapatan minus purpose. Jaden, type your questions, type your sentence to Jinhin, to Kaiham, to Sherry. Let the three help me to beat you. Okay? Oh yeah. So you guys are going to be famous, so that's why likely you guys didn't put on the camera. So that's why actually I'm okay with students without camera. Just I needed you guys to ask me question. I don't care about the YouTube. I don't care about the content. I'm just trying to help my current students only. Okay, so when management asks me why your Mandarin class teaching English, I just tell them the truth. I just wanted to focus on my students. That's why I don't want to use social media. I don't want to use the IG to create another small account to spread about my teaching because I have my privacy. Teaching is teaching. My life is my life. So that's why I have no genie Chinese. So yeah, I just trying to taunt the teacher JY. Okay, so that's pengeluaran. Okay, don't tell him later he angry me because yesterday I really tried to FFK for his dinner date lah. So yesterday I stay at home. I don't want to hang up. So guys, pengeluaran, production track. So is menggabungkan faktor pengeluaran. So which is pengeluaran is by firma. So firma is owned by the usahawan. So there's a usaha also try to menggabungkan. Menggabungkan the buruh tanah modal and usahawan. So guys, what do we call this for? Buruh tanah modal usahawan. Other than factor pengeluaran, other than sumber economy, I know you guys are trying to answer this too. Other than FP and SC, this 4 is known as your TNBU is known as your input. Okay, so trying to menghasilkan the barang and perkhidmatan. So this 2 is your output. Okay, so remember for the TNBU, we have 3 titles. Form 4 Part 1 already have faktor pengeluaran and sumber economy. But Form 4 Part 4, strictly for input. Why? Because the input we have dual genis. So guys, why is the dual genis for input? Kaiham, this morning already mentions, Jinhin. Atika, input tetap and input berubah. What's input tetap? Tanah modal buruh usahawan. input tetap. Zero is pulangan. Tanah and what? Tanah and modal. Very good. Because tanah, land is fixed. Maybe the machines is able to change. But modal is alat cipta manusia, not only referring to the machine yang precise schedule, it's also referring to the kilang, to the jentera. So that's why kilang, jentera, and the tanah is input tetap. That within the jangka masa pendek, we are not going to have enough time to gather enough fund to increasing the quantity for the hectare tanah or the unit for jentera or kilang. So that's why these two is input tetap within jangka masa yang pendek. Okay? Remember, jangka masa pendek. So what is the input berubah? Input berubah is me, you. Silakan. So yes, me. I'm the buruh. And so we have tanah, modal, buruh. So Yushan, Shayan, what is the one more input berubah? Yeah, usahawan. Didn't listen info from before. Yeah, so it came from the tanah. So tanah we cannot change for the size, but on the land we can get the bahan mentah. So guys, highlight tanah. We have another input berubah known as your bahan mentah. So the B is for buruh. So buruh and input berubah, which is the bahan mentah, we can try to increase or decrease no matter it's jangka masa panjang or pendek. So less than 1 year. So for the first 6 months, I wanted to produce lesser quantity. Then I just try to recruit lower buruh, buying lesser bahan mentah. Okay, so after the 6 months, people already save enough money trying to start spending before the Christmas. So that's why for the last 6 months, I'm trying to produce more barang and perkhidmatan. Quantity increases. So I just have to, in order to produce more barang and perkhidmatan, then I just try to hire more buruh and then buy more bahan mentah. So that's why jangka masa pendek, I can increase, decrease anytime I want. So if the buruh and bahan mentah, I can increase whenever I want. So in jangka masa panjang, more than 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, I also can increase anytime I want. So this input berubah. No matter jangka masa panjang pendek, we can increase or decrease. But input tetap is only for jangka masa pendek because we needed the time to prepare the budget, the fund, to increasing the unit for tanah and the machines. Let's say the kilang. Understand? But after maybe 1 year, jangka masa panjang, I have enough time to gather my fund, so I can try to buy 2 hectare of land. Maybe I can try to buy 20 machines. So that input tetap tidak berubah pada jangka masa pendek. Okay, tapi is berubah for jangka masa panjang. So which means in jangka masa panjang, all the tanah, modal, buruh, and bahan mentah is all input berubah jangka masa panjang. Understand? Kaya tanah in jangka masa panjang is no, tanah jangka masa pendek is input tetap. Jangka masa panjang is input berubah. So from the tanah, we can get some raw material, bahan mentah. So the commodity from tanah, known as bahan mentah, right, is definitely jangka masa panjang pendek for input berubah. Because the bahan mentah, we just wanted to produce more, then we get more bahan mentah. We wanted to produce lesser, then we buy lesser bahan mentah. So bahan mentah, where do we get it from? From the tanah. So it's different than tanah. It's just tanah, we have the land only, and then the resources. So resources from land is bahan mentah, is input berubah, no matter it's jangka masa panjang or pendek. Understand? Okay, so input berubah is going to change no matter it's under jangka masa pendek or panjang. Thank you. Yes, very good, Yushan. Okay, but jangka masa pendek, we have input tetap yang tidak berubah for the tanah and modal because we are not enough time to get enough money to increase or decrease the quantity for tanah and modal. We cannot simply try to get a new land, new machines, because time is limited. Even though you wanted to sell, it's going to take longer time too for other people to buy from you. Understand? So input like the tanah and modal is input tetap yang wujud dalam jangka masa pendek. Okay, so buruh and bahan mentah is input berubah yang wujud dalam jangka masa pendek dan panjang. Okay, so which means if the dana and modal is exist in jangka masa panjang, so which means we all have enough time, we can try to gather more money to increase or decrease the quantity for dana and modal. Then they are no longer considered as input tetap. So that's why this is why input berubah is including the dana, modal, buruh, and bahan mentah is all wujud in jangka masa panjang. Okay, so jangka masa pendek, input tetap, input berubah, jangka masa pendek. Jangka masa panjang, all these four items is just input berubah. Because longer the time, we can try to have enough time to get the money, to get more buruh, more bahan mentah, more modal, and then more tanah. Understand? Okay, so done for your form 4 So input tetap, input berubah. So you guys can try to highlight now. So we have the machines, modal, and then tanah. So this is all modal, tanah. So this bahan mentah, BM from tanah, and then the buruh. Okay. So this is input tetap, jangka masa pendek. Input berubah, jangka masa pendek, and jangka masa panjang. Okay, guys. Nana, so the remaining explanation you guys do on your own. So if you guys cannot understand, look at the bottom column. Jangka masa pendek, we have only input tetap. So jangka masa pendek, we have only input tetap. So jangka masa panjang, we have input berubah and input tetap too. Okay, summarize. So within your form 4 still have to calculate for your keluaran purata, keluaran marginal, and jumlah keluaran. So guys, slash. So jumlah keluaran is also refers to your input berubah. So usually input berubah is referring to your buruh in your exam. Okay, so multiply by your keluaran purata. So the keluaran is also known as your output. That's why I keep referring to you guys. The keluaran for the barang and perkhidmatan is output. So what is the output? Output for purata. Okay, so jumlah keluaran is depends on the buruh multiplied by the keluaran purata. Then we are able to find out the jumlah keluaran. So this is the three formula. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so cost over the same thing. So cost we have cost tetap and cost berubah. Jumlah cost. So cost purata, cost berubah purata, and cost marginal. So we have an additional one more cost berubah purata. Just try to ignore the cost tetap using the cost berubah divided by the jumlah keluaran. Okay, so the formula you guys try to practice on your own. And then the last item for your form 4 is your externality. So we have untung also. So guys, untung is using hasil to minus the cost pengeluaran. But if this is untung economy, cost explicit is your jumlah cost. So implicit is cost overhead. So what's cost overhead? Cost sampingan. What's cost sampingan? Is the untung yang kedua terbaik that you are letting go. So that's why this is the cost that you're not going to measure within the production. So let's say what is the contour for cost implicit? Utility bill, OT, or maybe let's say you have the interest in bank for 3% simpanan tetap. But now you are trying to take out all your savings so that you can start your business. So which means you are losing your second best interest. So that's why you let go your second best interest from the faedah tinggi in simpanan tetap so that you can start your business. So that's why cost implicit is not only your cost overhead like your OT, like your utility bill, also included the untung, second best for your untung. Guys, 30 minutes more. Exhausting, so that's why my eyes keep blinking. So second best, kedua terbaik, second best, second by from your untung. So which means the untung is your untung. So the second best untung, cost the past, right? We are letting go. So when we let go for the second best job opportunity to make the profit, is actually your cost implicit. Okay, so please remember pendapatan daripada faktor-faktor pengeluaran, you're really letting go. So guys, remember pendapatan daripada faktor-faktor pengeluaran yang dilepaskan. So this is cost implicit. Okay, so please memorize Hasil is using your price multiply your quantity. Hasil. So that's why this is your income. Income is not profit. Profit you have to minus your cost tetap and cost per rubah. So what is cost tetap? From the input tetap lor. So what is cost per rubah? For the input per rubah lor. So this is your jangka masa pendek. So most likely, no more sorry, 100%. I cannot say 100%. 99.9%. Your exam for the part 4 asking for the untung or the untung economy or the cost explicit implicit for the hasil, right? 99.99% is always jangka masa pendek. So the only 0.1 is your school teacher want you guys die. Only for what objective in your paper 1. So maybe they are going to ask you why this firma they have no cost data. That's the only possibility they are going to come up in the objective form. So when the company is not going to have cost data, why? Because all the dana and then the model is becoming the input per rubah. So it's all cost per rubah. So this is why this jangka masa panjang. Okay, that's the only 0.0% is going to come out such questions in your first term exam, not final, not SPM. Okay, not even trial. I only see these questions coming out in the Tutor or EUYANG school. I read these questions, I really blank because I promised my students that in your SPM, your trial or your school exam is never going to come out the jangka masa panjang. Then boom, then this school try to come up with this kind of objective. Why the firma didn't have cost tetap? Because wujud dalam jangka masa panjang. So everything is input per rubah. So input per rubah is only going to have cost per rubah. Yeah, I forgot which school before MCO. Yeah, long time ago. So now for all exercises, and then we have the productivity. So how many output banyak and perimata we can produce? So that's why we are depends on the input. But this input is definitely for input per rubah. Why? Because we are not going to rely on jangka masa pendek anymore. So only for productivity, we are depending on jangka masa panjang. So put the start here. Okay, so this is your jangka masa panjang for productivity only. So guys, what is jangka masa panjang? So common sense, we are trying to recognize is it as more than 1 year, but no, depends on the business size. Some business size, they're just going to taking the jangka masa panjang 6 months and above is jangka masa panjang. But maybe for my small business, my jangka masa panjang is 5 years later. So that's why we just assume jangka masa panjang is more or less than 1 year, but depend on the business size. Okay, so let's say for a franchise, syarikat multinational, their jangka masa panjang is actually 6 months. After 6 months, still not able to make profit, they're just going to shut down their business. So maybe for small company like selling ramly burger or nasi lemak at the roadside, so the jangka masa panjang is actually 2 and 3 years later. So it depends on business size. So that's why jangka masa panjang to calculate the productivity. So we are trying to make everything for the tanah modal buruh usahawan is able to increase or decrease. In jangka masa panjang, that's why this is referring to the input per rubah. So everything can be input per rubah. So down there, then we have the externality. So externality, we have good, positive, negative. So that's why negative is known as cost, positive is known as faedah. Okay, so we have the peribadi and luaran. So what's peribadi? Direct effect, but positive effect. So what is faedah luaran? Indirect good effect. Okay, so what is cost peribadi? Direct negative effect. So what's cost luaran? Indirectly for the negative effect. So this is directly. Secara langsung. So let's say, what's the faedah social as a faedah peribadi? So I didn't I live in Singapore. I didn't have the money to buy my personal vehicle. It's too expensive, including the parking fee. So that's why every day I'm trying to take the public transport. So the public transport is able to save me my money. So that's why I can save my money from not buying the kendaraan peribadi. So that's why I can take public transport with cheaper the fare. So this is my peribadi. So I don't need to pay my maintenance fee. So at the same time, what's faedah orang? So that's why I take public transport. But you guys are buying your own vehicles in Singapore. So which means when all the people like me is berpendapatan rendah, we are taking the public transport and you guys are rich. So the traffic situation will be very smooth. So no heavy traffic in Singapore. Then this is faedah orang. You guys didn't pay for the public transport, but you guys are enjoying a smooth surface, smooth traffic. So this is indirect good effect. So what's cost per everybody? I pay for the MRT in Singapore. So what's the cost per everybody? Every day squeezing to work, squeezing to school. So no heavy traffic, but heavy traffic within the passenger in LRT squeezing like a sardine. So this cost per everybody also direct consequences. Or let's say I'm the company MRT in Singapore, try to build project A. So which means the project B, I have to on hold. Why? Super economy to the heart. So if I have the fund, the moral to start a project A, but I have insufficient fund for project B. So this is my cost per everybody. Because I wanted to on hold the project B, so which means I lose the opportunity to make profit from the project B. So this is my indirect negative impact. So what's cost runner? So when I try to conduct my project A, I have to pay for all the upah, I have to tanggung all the risks. When the economy is good or bad, we cannot predict. So this is my cost per everybody. But when I try to building this project pembangunan, so maybe some of the jalan raya have to be blocked so that my company is able to build the jantas. So which means you guys are going to have the pencemaran udara because the construction site is going to cost all the harbor. So this is your indirectly for the negative impact. Can so try to read through. So let's say guys, cost social is all the cost per everybody and cost runner. So apakah cost social ditimbul oleh kerajaan melaksanakan projek pembinaan? So if government try to conduct this project, so the direct cost per everybody will be kerajaan have to pay for the budget. Okay, so what is the cost run for the kerajaan? So kerajaan, in order to conduct the first project, project pembinaan rumah mampu. So maybe the other project is have to dilepaskan from this kerajaan, then this is the indirect effect lah. So if I change the unit from kerajaan into individual, so this project pembinaan rumah mampu, cheap house. So what is the negative impact? So when the government try to build the low budget house, maybe the existing resident is going to have the bunyi pencemaran, try to gong 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 beside your house. So this is your indirect negative impact because pencemaran bunyi. Sorry. No. You guys are going to have the pencemaran bunyi by the cost runner. So if you are the neighbor from this resident area, when the kerajaan is trying to build this project, so which means you guys have to wait to pay and buy for this low budget house after the government done building, right? So which means the time you are waiting is your indirect, so it's your direct negative impact. So this is cost per everybody, no? So when you are renting the house beside this low budget house until it done build up, only you try to move in. So you try to wait for the time is your direct negative impact. But the kesan from pencemaran bunyi is your indirect impact because you haven't paid the money yet. And I also know the different situation. So per everybody is always a direct good impact or negative impact. So this is indirect good impact, indirect negative impact. Okay, so what's the soalan for 156? Cost solution. Remember, cost is negative impact. Good. Anyone? Answer? Don't refer to the answer sheet. So anyone? Pencemaran udara yang berluasan is your cost luaran. The question is asking for the cost solution, all the peribadi and luaran together. Yes, it's A. Because the hutang dimusnahkan has to tanggung by the kerajaan and all the people, directly or indirectly. Okay, A, B, C, D. You say E lah, all of the above lah. To make me call out your name, A, B, C, D. A, kemusnahan hutang. Okay, good. So that's why, guys, done for all the 5 chapters. So, Form 5, your peranan kerajaan, I'm skipping. So we have another 15 minutes. So morning, we are trying to teach and then do soalan struktur. Afternoon class, I wanted to teach and then doing the soalan struktur, but end up, I try to answer from all the objectives. Good job. So guys, goes to your soalan, top 3. Okay, page number 4. Okay, your second notes, no longer the paper 1 for objective. So, fungsi 1. Do I still have to teach this soalan struktur? Just now within the short notes, I try to give you guys a marks, right? Yes. So do you guys still need me to prepare the answer? Help? Still need to prepare the answer? Sherry? What is the maksud wang? The first keyword. Wang ialah suatu commodity. Remember the first keyword? Commodity is the bahan with value. So the some money is with value. No? Commodity yang, so guys, plus the first ciri yang diterima umum dan sebagai alat perantaraan pertukaran. So this is your three keywords for your 1 mark only. Definisi wang, maksud wang. So can you guys try to bina ayat? Atika, Elina, can. So Elina, you are attending my online class or physical class? Because I try to memorize your name since just now I starting this seminar online, right? English or Mandarin class? Because sometimes I see your name is attending, sometimes you're like ponteng one. Is it? Sometimes you do ponteng, right? I kecil hati satu ah. So next time I see your name, I'm going to target you in the normal class ah. You other uncle recording if you miss out the class. Yeah. Oh, so that's why no wonder I saw your name sometimes is attending, sometimes not attending lah. Okay. So other tuition is more important than my economy, right? Like that, oh no problem, no, don't want to attend economy, no. Just kidding, just kidding. So guys, so this iklan, what's the fungsi one? So no matter you guys are looking at the question first, right? If this is the fungsi one, so all the answer is going to become your alat. So guys, we have 4 alat, right? Alat perantaraan pertukaran, alat ukuran nilai, alat simpanan nilai, alat bayaran tertunda. So this is the 4 fungsi. Okay, so guys, tell me what's the fungsi here for 6 mark B. So which means, guys, how many fungsi we have to elaborating? Always try to understand in your mind that in order to score for this 6 mark, fungsi 1, 6 mark, how many fungsi we have to elaborating? Wait, don't give me the answer. How many fungsi to elaborate first? Okay, 3. Thank you. So guys, 3 because fakta plus huraian Shayan is going to cost you guys 2 marks for each. So that's why 3 times 2 equals to a 6 marks. Okay. So what is it? Perantaraan pertukaran. Because this is the value for the house. Rumah teras 2 tingkat. So double story house. And other than that, ukuran nilai. I'm still trying to refer from these students punya point form. Okay. So which means ansuran tinggi. Then this is ansuran. So that pinjaman. So I try to circle for the pinjaman bank for 90% and ansuran bulanan for 1,200. This is alat bayaran tertunda. So alat bayaran tertunda. So guys, if you try to buy the house without a pinjaman bank, just try to pay for the final price, 368,000. What is the fungsi? What's the fungsi for final price? Okay, so we know the value. So that's why the students trying to answer the first fungsi is perantaraan pertukaran. You crack my brain for a little. Thank you for successfully trying to fool me. So this is the alat ukuran nilai. We are able to measure the price. Alat ukuran nilai. Alat ukuran nilai is the same thing. So from all this advertisement, we have no such alat perantaraan pertukaran. What's the meaning by alat perantaraan pertukaran? We are trying to use money to buy the house. So do we see any person wanted to pay this amount or taking the ansuran to buy this house? No. So that's why no such perantaraan pertukaran. So this is the 2 fungsi. So guys, what's the 1 more fungsi? Why? Why we have alat penyimpanan nilai? Anyone? What's the purpose of alat penyimpanan nilai? Because can buy is perantaraan pertukaran. The house value can increase by year. Yeah, so guys, usually when we are trying to explain it for alat penyimpanan nilai, right, is because we are going to get a return. So why we have the return is because we have the interest. So I show you guys alat ukuran nilai is where we have dapat tutup bang. Sepakat alat penyimpanan nilai. So when we save the money in bank, do we have penyimpanan nilai? No, but actually we have the interest. So which means the faedah is not only for disimpan dalam bank. So when we pay for 90, we pay for 10%. So pinjaman is 90%. So which means the 10% is the bank trusted us the money. So that's why we are going to have the nilai wang yang stabil. So nilai yang stabil, not only for the money, also referring to the house. So there's some money and house after we pay the 10%. Because 90% is your installment, right? So guys, slash. So the 10% here is your down payment, known as your pendahuluan. So the pendahuluan is actually you pay first, known as your alat penyimpanan nilai. Okay, so that's why this question is quite tricky for the students to explain. Okay, alat penyimpanan or alat simpanan nilai, penyimpanan nilai. So that's why the 10% is pendahuluan is alat penyimpanan nilai. You pay 10% first. So it's like you try to save money 10% first. So the 90% is only try to give back to the bank. Okay? Okay. So do you guys need me to explain? Do you guys need me to bina ayat? Point form or sentences? Guys, quick. Same thing interest alat penyimpanan nilai point form. So the first one is alat ukuran nilai. Alat ukuran nilai. So how to huraikan alat ukuran nilai? We are able to menentukan or mengukur nilai rumah ini dalam bentuk harga ayam. So dapat mengukur atau menilaikan same thing lah, mengukur nilai rumah ini dalam bentuk harga bracket ayam, dalam bentuk harga dalam sebutan ringgit Malaysia. So I just bracket IM. So you guys have to finish in your short sentence. The dalam bentuk harga is dalam sebutan ringgit Malaysia. So this is your 2 marks. So second point is alat penyimpanan nilai. Okay, so this is harder to explain. I'll try to follow my instructions. So alat penyimpanan nilai is because 9% for the pinjaman bank dan memerlukan 10% for the pendahuluan to buy this house. Okay, so which means melibatkan 10% harga rumah ini sebagai pendahuluan. Harga rumah ini sebagai pendahuluan dengan nilai wang yang stabil. So pendahuluan so mempunyai nilai wang yang stabil. Mempunyai nilai wang yang stabil. So that's why when the value is stable, only we are able to save. So when the 10% value of the pendahuluan is stable, so this alat penyimpanan nilai. Okay, so the third point is alat bayaran tertunda. Alat bayaran tertunda that we are trying to huraikan as 9% pinjaman rumah, 90% pinjaman berjaga. So pinjaman rumah is pinjaman berjaga. You guys learn from your bab 3. Pinjaman berjaga dijelaskan kepada bank secara ansuran. Dijelaskan kepada bank secara ansuran. With your RM dengan 1,288 setiap bulan. So ansuran bulanan setiap bulan. Okay, or you can try to reconstruct. 9% pinjaman berjaga dijelaskan kepada bank dengan RM 1288 secara ansuran bulanan. So whatever you wanted to be your ayat lah. So guys, I just give you guys a keyword is the fakta, and then the huraian is the nilai. Disebutkan dalam bentuk harga ayam. So this is ukuran nilai. So we know the price is all guys. The ayam for 3,600, 800 and 8,800. So try to mention the ukuran nilai is together with the final price according to the soalan. So penyimpan nilai is the nilai wang yang stabil after the 10% down payment. So that's why we save the money, we get the interest. So we pay the pendahuluan for nilai wang yang stabil, then only we can get the pembelian rumah and then slowly pay back the 90%. So the 10% is penyimpanan nilai. So like you pay the down payment, like you are trying to save some money for this bank to buy the house. Okay, so 90% is ansuran settle for the remaining 90% pinjaman berjangka. Okay, so bandingkan kedua wang di atas. Do you guys still want to try this question? Because last 3 minutes. I try to extend another 10 more minutes. So guys, what is bandingkan? So it's not 比较, it's not 对比. Bandingkan is persamaan plus perbezaan. So bandingkan is persamaan plus perbezaan in order to get the 5 marks. So how to get the 5 marks? 1 persamaan for 1 mark. 2 persamaan also for 1 mark. 3 persamaan for 3 marks. So sometimes students try to give 2 persamaan, right? Okay, let's say 2 marks. Then you try to give another 2 perbezaan. So 2, okay, so remember, usually 1 persamaan, right now, 1 persamaan is for 1 mark. So 1 perbezaan is actually for 2 marks. So if you are trying to provide 2 perbezaan, so 2 persamaan, so it's your 2 marks. Then you try to give 2 perbezaan, it's going to get 4 marks. Then you are going to give extra point. So which means the ideal way to answer the bandingan is you try to give 1 persamaan for 1 mark, and you give 2 perbezaan for 4 marks. That's your 5 marks. Vice versa. We are trying to give 1 perbezaan for 2 marks, right? So which means in order to get another 3 more marks, we try to give 3 persamaan. So which means this is your 3 marks. Understand? Answering technique. Okay, so guys, use your pen to jot down. What is the persamaan for these two, one A and B? Persamaan. So you guys can find the perbezaan, right? So guys, perbezaan on the right hand side. What's the perbezaan for this 1A and 1B? 1A ialah 1 So B is bukan 1 So this is your A, this is your B, bukan 1 I know you guys can differentiate the 1 and bukan 1 but I think that's how far you guys can go. So guys, what is the second point? Other than 1 and bukan 1 No one? What is the meaning by sah? Wih, guys, last minute. Cepat. Diiktiraf, diterima orang ramai. So there's a bangsa, diterima orang ramai. So how about bukan bangsa? Tidak diterima orang ramai. Can or diterima segelintir orang. Yes, very good. Saya. So remember the form 4 syllabus. Very good. So diterima segelintir orang. Segelintir. A little bit of people only. Segelintir orang. So there's a 2 points. Do we have another third point? Yes. So other than diterima umum, and then we're using the iktiraf. What is the iktiraf? Recognized by who? Authority, which is wang sah for A, the wang kertas, don't try to use dikeluarkan. We are trying to mention as diterbitkan or disediakan. So which means printed or disediakan, sedia oleh bank negara or bank pusat. Bank pusat. So slash. So for B is disedia oleh. So who printed the wang B? Disedia oleh bank swasta. So what's bank swasta? Very good, bank perdagangan. So that's your 3 points here. Okay, so if you try to write down 3 perbezaan, you can only maximum getting 4 points, 4 marks under the 2 points, right? They needed 5 marks. So that's why if you try to product one more, even though you guys getting another 2 more marks, the marker is not going to give you guys full 5 marks. They want the perbandingan for at least 1 persamaan. So guys, what's the 1 persamaan for 1A and 1B? The easiest one, but some of the teacher might not be accepting in your SPM. Both is diperlukan daripada kertas. Okay, wang kertas deposit semasa diperlukan daripada kertas. But anyway, we can use these 2 items to buy things. So what is buy things? Sebagai alat perantaran pertukaran. So alat ukuran nilai is we are able to measure the nilai for the harga barang perkhidmatan dalam sebutan RM. So sebagai alat perantaran pertukaran. So what is alat perantaran pertukaran, guys? After we are going to use the cash or the check to pay for the car or the barang, they are going to accept the money. So just more people or less people only. So that's why tidak memerlu kehendak serendah when we are using these 2 money to buy things. Second, so which means, guys, we are using fungsi and then we can using ukuran nilai. So I'm not going to measure. So this is the money. Ukuran nilai artikel is focusing on the barang and perkhidmatan for their harga. Like this question. So this alat ukuran nilai. So one, no. Okay, so next one. This is not system butter, guys. What's the kelemahan for system butter? Other than memerlukan kehendak serendah, which means tidak mudah rosak. Okay, so the third one. So this is the most unique for the one tanda. So even though in the nota we are not going to mention, because if this is empty check, we are not going to know the value, worth nothing. Yeah, but after we have the value, maybe this is a clever questions, we are going to mention the ciri for one tanda, which is the nilai muka is greater than the nilai kertas, because both is made by kertas. So after we have the figures, after we have the value, so which means the nilai for this paper is worth a lot than the paper value. So that's why nilai muka. Okay, so similar to your Wang Tanda explanation. So nilai muka kedua-dua wang akan melebihi nilai sebenar or nilai kertas. So that's a 3 persamaan. So guys, either 3 persamaan with your 1 perbezaan or 2 perbezaan with your 1 persamaan. Up to your choice, guys. Okay, stop. Number 8, before we end the class, one last question. Still wanted to focus in your Form 4 Part 3 or not? Let me check. So this one, you guys can try refer to the nota or your textbook. So I'm not going to cover the juru bank. So guys, please prepare. Pinjaman, no. Form 4 Part 3, I skip. Okay, for the pendapatan, I think you guys can do it on your own, right? Guys, this precision never come wrong before. For the first time exam only, not SPM. Okay, try your belanjaan pribadi. So, how do we prepare the belanjaan pribadi? Please read. And then kepentingan. So kepentingan is like almost coming up in your SPM or your school normal exam for your objective and soalan struktur. Try to memorize. We have 5 kepentingan for belanjaan pribadi. Mengelakkan pembaziran, mengelakkan hutang, so menjamin perbelanjaan kurang daripada pendapatan, and then try to mengatasi sebarang kecemasan. Okay, and then mengelakkan inflasi. So total we have 5 kepentingan for belanja pribadi. So this one you guys try please. So the last question, guys, actually I wanted to focus in your Form 4 about 4. Corak perbelanjaan, skip. So guys, these exercises you guys try first, refer to the nota, do self-revision, and then only ask questions, ask the answer from me. So form 4 part 3. Do you guys want calculations for the input, tetap input berubah? Page number 10. You guys want to do the calculation as the last question or the theoretical for input tetap input berubah? Guys, last 10 minutes. Page 10. Ingin? Quick. Vertical ingin? 10. You guys want calculation that I teach? Because I got one student here ask me for this question before. I know you asked before, so that's why I try to target you, wanted to try or not. Okay? Yeah? No need lah. Don't try. Wow. So these students, I don't care. I have to teach first. So guys, usually I predict focus in your keluaran. So just based on your pengeluaran. So guys, put a star here. We try to learn. These students, if you know who you are, so please jot down in your notes. Hukum pulangan kekurangan. Hukum pulangan kekurangan. Actually, I have two students ask me this question before. Can you share one boy, Zaudin? So if he's watching now, then he's supposed to know that this question he asked before. So another students, you know who you are, right? So I'm not going to disclose your name, of course. Anyone can know. What is hukum pulangan kekurangan? When the corona margin achieve the maximum point, and your current burrata is going to achieve maximum and before the maximum in jumlah keluaran. So that's why before we try to understand the hukum pulangan kekurangan, guys, use a highlighter, circle the 3 maximum point in your keluaran. That's why we have 3 minimum point in your cost, but it's after the jumlah cost. So guys, go to your page number 11 to underline. We are trying to find the minimum point in cost. So minimum point. Minimum 3. So what is the minimum point? 50, 10, and then always the last one. Second one, 30. So this minimum point. And then the maximum point for keluaran is always trying to find maximum point for 3. So it's from your jumlah keluaran. So we have 338, always goes for the last one. And then always go for the largest number and then until the 10. So the pattern for the maximum point in keluaran is always inclined. So the minimum point for the cost is always incline then decline. That's the correct pattern. Okay, so what is hukum pulangan kekurangan after the maximum value in keluaran marginal after this point? So from your maximum point in keluaran burrata and then maximum point in jumlah keluaran, so which means the input berubah from 5 to 7 is a hukum pulangan kekurangan. So which means cekap. So hukum pulangan kekurangan is try to find the cara pengeluaran yang paling cekap. So right now is paling cekap. Yeah, so those who are not able to understand the hukum pulangan pengurangan, right? So jot down the keywords here. I show you guys form 4 bab 4. Form 4 bab 4. September, October, August. Bab 3B. 8. It's not here. It's not here. Revision. Sorry, September. Okay, try to highlight the keywords. Try to find hukum pulangan kekurangan. So guys, read carefully. When the input berubah, which is the borrow keep increasing, and then using your input tetap for the tanah. So guys, look at the keyword. Jumlah keluaran semakin bertambah. The total output keep increasing. Pas selepas jumlah keluaran semakin berkurangan, for every constant of input berubah. So I try to using this page to teach you guys. So try to find out that. Where's the annotate? Oh, I couldn't have the annotate in this breakout room. Okay, so guys, so try to read that. Tahap 2 is paling cekap. Hukum pulangan kekurangan. Why? After the maximum point for keluaran marginal. So from the maximum point of keluaran burrata and then the maximum of jumlah keluaran is the buruh for 5 and 6, right? 5 and 7, right? So this is paling cekap because we are trying to utilize all the input berubah from 5 to 7 people within the limited input tetap. So which means we are trying to fully utilizing all the input berubah buruh within the input tetap tanah. So that's why the jumlah keluaran in keluaran purata is having the maximum point after the keluaran marginal is we are utilizing all the input. Number that is input berubah input tetap. So what's the meaning for keluaran marginal maximum point? So keluaran marginal maximum point is we can let the buruh keempat to produce the maximum unit is 10 unit. So for the buruh keempat, it's only able to maximize the pengguna for input berubah, but we still have a lot of space in the tanah input tetap. So which means for the first 4 stages, from the first buruh to the 4th buruh, we can try to maximize the pengguna input berubah the buruh only for the 4th person. But the tanah still got a lot of empty places. So which means we are not utilizing all the tanah. We're still wasting the tanah. Okay, so that's why the jumlah keluaran and burata is not maximum point. So what's happening for the buruh ke-8? So after the maximum of jumlah keluaran, you can see the input berubah is 8 people. Yes, we try to fit more input berubah the buruh into the tanah for 1 hectare. But look at the jumlah keluaran already start decreasing. What is happening? We are wasting the input berubah. Understand? So for the first 4, we are wasting the input tetap, even though we are already utilizing all the input berubah. So that the input berubah for the buruh keempat is able to produce the maximum unit in keluaran marginal. But after the buruh ke-7, which is the input berubah for 8, the 8 labor. So the 8 labor, yes, we recruit more people, but our land is limited. So that's why the land is able to fully utilizing is within 5 to 7. So within 5 to 7 buruh, the maximum point for jumlah keluaran and burata is utilizing for both input berubah and input tetap. So before that, wasting the tanah, maximize the input berubah. So after the 7, we are wasting the input berubah. Yes, we still try to fit more people into the input tetap, the tanah. Understand what's hukum pulangan perkurangan now? Can I? So remember, it's paling cekap. So try to copy using the input berubah into the input tetap until your jumlah keluaran is going to keep increasing before decreasing. Okay, so I'll try to read for you guys. Hukum pulangan perkurangan. So increasing the input berubah dalam input tetap dengan jumlah keluaran, which is the jumlah output, keep increasing until dengan jumlah output meningkat sehingga jumlah sebelum just try to change the sehingga until sebelum menurun sebelum the jumlah keluaran is decreasing. So that's why this is sebelum the jumlah keluaran from decreasing. So that's why from the after the maximum point for keluaran marginal, so starting from the keluaran burata and jumlah keluaran. So this is your hukum pulangan perkurangan yang paling cekap. So remember, for the first 4 buruh, we are wasting the land, utilizing the input berubah for the input berubah buruh keempat. So that's why we can produce the maximum point for this 4th labor. So this paling cekap able to utilizing for the input tetap and input berubah. So after the buruh ke-7, so we are wasting the input berubah. So this is wasting the input tetap. So this is able to utilizing for the input tetap input berubah secara paling cekap. Understand? So this is the purpose. Okay, so try to practice. And then guys, after you guys able to find out all the answer, right? Try to find the maximum point for jumlah keluaran, burata, and marginal. So what is 0 to 4? So this is your passage of 0 to 4, 4 to 7. So which means try to mention that what is the maximum point for jumlah keluaran. So guys, we try to find out easily all the answer. Okay, so how to find jumlah keluaran? Keluaran burata multiplied by the input berubah. So the answer is 10 minus 1. So this is 10. Easy, right? The formula. So how to find the jumlah keluaran? 14 times 5. So 60. Easy. So how to find the formula for keluaran burata? Using jumlah keluaran divided by the input berubah. So 0 divided by 0, sifar. So that's why we are not using 0. Sifar. Cannot even calculate. So 24 divided by 2, so this is 12. And then 60 divided by 4, this is 15. Easy. So what is the formula for current marginal. We are trying to find the differences of jumlah current divided by differences of input perubahan. So that's why 10 minus 0, 10. Divided by 1 minus 0, 1. So 10 divided by 1, answer is still 10. Okay, so which means what is the answer for current marginal? For the label ketiga, so we are using the differences here. 45 minus 24, so the differences is 21. So divided by the differences of input perubahan is only 1, so answer is still the differences of jumlah current. So the answer is only 21 here. So what is the answer current marginal? So this is 75 minus 60. So which means 15. Is it? Oh guys, I calculated wrongly. This is 70, right? Jumlah current 50, 25, 26, 70. So which means this is your current marginal for differences in 5 units. So where is the maximum point? Current marginal. Where is the maximum point for current prata? We have both 15. Always go for the last one. So we have the jumlah current, the highest one is 75. So always inclining for the 3 maximum point. So what do we have to huraikan for this kind of tafsiran? So which means 0 to 4. I circle for you guys. So apabila, so this is the first maximum, guys. Use your pen right now. This is your first huraian. So this is your second huraian. So that's why this is your 3 marks here. Okay, so what is 3 marks? Apabila buruk meningkat from 0 to 4 unit, jumlah keluaran meningkat ke 60 unit, keluaran purata increase to 15 dan mencapai nilai maksimum. Okay, so keluaran marginal is increasing to 21 and then decreasing to 15, right? So which means this is the wrong uraian. Yeah, sorry guys, have to head on side. So guys, the purpose I'm trying to draw these 2 lines is you guys are not going to follow the instructions for 0 to 4. So that's why this is 0 to 3. 0 to 3 is your 1 marks, 2 marks is here for the maximum. And then 3 to 4, this is still increasing, no marks, but this is your nilai maximum. So that's why nilai maximum 1 marks, nilai maximum 2 marks. So this is your remaining 1 more marks. So that's why I read the answer. Apabila buruk increasing from 0 to 3, jumlah keluaran increasing to 45, no marks. Keluaran purata increasing to 15, not maximum, no marks. Keluaran marginal increasing to 21 dan mencapai nilai maximum. This is your second mark. Okay, so next one. Apabila buruk increasing from 3 to 4, jumlah keluaran increasing to 60, no marks. Keluaran purata remain as 15. Unit keluaran purata kekal dan mencapai nilai maksimum yaitu 15 unit. So this is your second point. Okay, so which means if you are using all the input perubahan increasing and jumlah keluaran keep increasing, this is your original 1 mark. So 2 marks here, 3 marks here. This is your RAM for 3 marks. Okay, so I'll try to read again. 0 to 3, increasing, and then mencapai nilai maximum. First mark. So increasing from 3 to 4, increasing, no marks. Mencapai nilai maximum dengan kekal, second marks. So this is keep increasing, this is your third marks. Okay, so the next one, 4 to 7, even though we didn't have 7 buruk, so we don't care. Okay, so when buruk, so this is your another maximum point, right? So this is try to draw another line. So apabila buruk increasing from 4 to 6, jumlah keluaran increasing to 75 dan mencapai nilai maksimum. So this is your fourth mark. Okay, so keluaran purata and keluaran marginal decreasing to 12.5 and 5 unit, second mark. So what is the last mark? Apabila buruk increasing from 6 to 7, all the jumlah keluaran purata dan keluaran marginal is going to decrease. This is your third mark. So this is how difficult to do the tafsiran. So I assume that your first term exam might be still coming up. Either is the keluaran or either is the cost. So please learn how to huraikan, yeah, for the tafsiran. Okay, so try first and ask me extra class for next week. So guys, I'm really late. I already delayed for 20 minutes. So guys, try. Form 4 part 4. So guys, for the first time seminar, I try my best to cover at least 80% from your 4 chapters. So we still have another 20% from your Form 4 part 2. Keseimbangan and kehanjalan. So let's see when we can conduct the class. Bye guys, I really exhausted. Bye. Bye.